I work in a language center, and one of the students said to me today, Teacher Gwen, my teacher told me that this word should be pronounced sentence. Sentence. I learned English through watching TV. My parents enrolled me in the Wilma Tapalya School of Speech and in Speech Power. And later on, I even became an instructor in Speech Power. None of my instructors, and they were all really good, ever said anything about pronouncing this word as sentence, about pronouncing this as 20, about saying photo instead of photo. That is not what we should be teaching children or foreign learners of English. Are we teaching accents here? Okay, so if somebody says, I'm British, is that the correct pronunciation of the word British? If they say, oh, I lost a button. Now you're saying, oh, this is the correct pronunciation of button. It should be button. We are not supposed to be teaching accents. We are to teach standard, neutral English or whatever language it is. Don't go to the pronunciation of rapid rate of speaking. That is not how it works. This word is sentence. Now somebody said, oh, because if you pronounce the T, it's kind of over-pronouncing it a bit. Yes, because we want the students to sound out the words. I'm a phonics teacher, okay? So we want the students to sound out the words so they can read properly and they can spell. Once their English is good, fluent enough to speak conversationally, then you want to sound more, let's say, American. Fine, you can do all the slangy stuff and the twang, and you can drop the sounds or blend the sounds. You can say international instead of international. You can say gonna instead of going to, wanna instead of want to. But not from the get-go. You don't teach that right away. That comes later. This word can be pronounced sentence. You are not wrong. Show me a dictionary that will say there's no letter T in there. Now, this is my truth, so don't bash me on this, but this is my truth, and this is really what happened to me. I taught English abroad, and I had a lot of colleagues, English teachers who are native speakers. And I was so shocked that some of them couldn't spell. And I'm like, you're a native English speaker. Well, later on, I found out why. Because English is so complicated. It's not their fault. You have silent letters. You have the great vowel shift. Change the sounds of the vowels, from short vowel sound to long vowel sound and vice versa. English is really a complicated language. What is wrong with carefully articulated speech? You can move on to be native sounding later on. In the beginning, let's learn proper standard English. And to those who say there's no standard, so what do you want? Free for all? There has to be something like this standard, this foundation, which is the jump off. Now, you know what standard is for me? The English of DJs in the Philippines and the English of the DJs in America? They sound the same. When I was in the States and I heard the DJs over the radio, wow, I thought I was in the Philippines. And so it was wonderful for me to find out, wow, we have good examples of good English here. We also